Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a red lips neutral eye tutorial, and just because I'm doing neutral eyes again doesn't mean that it isn't going to look completely different than yesterday, because I'm going to use all different products, so the end result should look different. Yesterday's eyes were sort of a bronzy focus, and today's I would say would be more taupey, but there's going to be other colors mixed in too. Alright, so let's get right into it. I skipped a few steps off camera just to try to not make this a 32-minute video. So I moisturized my lips with Milani Moisture Lock Lip Treatment Oil. And then I used my e.l.f. Mineral Face Primer in clear. And this is empty. I'm happy to say I actually finished a product. It had like 1.5 drops left in it. There was just barely enough to do my face with. So now next time I do my makeup, or I should say tomorrow when I do my makeup, I get to try the new one that I bought, which is the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer. So anxious to give that a go tomorrow. Then I put Femme Couture Get Flawless Skin Tone Corrector in pink on my dark circles. And then I used the Tarte, whoa, sorry about that. I used the Tarte Double Duty Beauty Empowered Hybrid Gel Foundation in light neutral. Pretty container, glass heavy, very nice. Creamy high coverage or full coverage foundation. Alright, so that's what I've done so far. I figured, we would just, if you wanted to see those steps, you can watch yesterday's video because I did it start to finish yesterday. And I might skip over something else, another step later on too, like
it's 10 o'clock.
Possibly brows, mascara, something like that. Alright, so let's take it from there. And by the way, I applied my foundation with the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, as you can see, because it's dirty. Alright, let's take it from there with the Real Techniques Sculpting Brush and my Anastasia Contour Kit in light to medium. Yeah, I wish I hadn't waited so long to get this, because I've really been enjoying it. It's weird because all this time, years I guess, that I looked at this in the stores and thought, no, I don't think I want that. And I really have been enjoying it a lot. Okay, so Java is my contour shade, so I'm going to contour my face with that. So I'm just going to put some on the brush and go like that, and then turn the brush sideways to blend it in. Yeah, I love this brush, and I don't think I would love it if I didn't use it the way I do, but the shape of it makes it so nice for application and blending. Okay, now for blush today, I'm going to use, really into some of my more classic products lately, Benetint. And if you've never tried this, it is, in my opinion, the best cheek tint type product out there. I've tried some others, but they just don't measure up to this. I'm not sure, but they've got the formula down pat here. So what I do is I remove the applicator, let the excess drain back into the container, and then I just do 3 dots right like that. And I use my fingers and blend it in an upward motion right over that contour product. So it's just going to give you like a really natural red cheek glow. So placement is kind of key with this. So really, really easy to apply. And dries, you know, almost instantly, so make sure that you blend it in quickly. Okay, now we're going to go back to the Anastasia contour kit. And we're going to use the shade Vanilla as a highlight. And I'm going to take this Real Techniques fan brush and just dust some of that right on the top of my cheekbones for a really pretty subtle, creamy highlight shade. Okay, let's move on to the eyes. For a base today, I'm going to use the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. And what this is going to do is it's just going to make the eyeshadows that I use more vibrant and colorful and just make them the best that they can be. I like to warm this product up on my finger and apply it that way because this is a really thick, tacky type base. So I'm just going to take my index finger and just put some on the tip of it like that. And then I'm going to put this all over the eye area, concentrating most of it on the lid and crease area. And then whatever is left, I'm just going to take it up a little bit into that brow highlight area. But you want to try to get most of it on the crease and lid area. So see, it's not going to look crazy. It's just going to cover up any discoloration or veining that you have in that area. And we're going to put shadows over it anyway. But it really does blend with your finger better than, you know, you can use if you really hate using brushes, you can use a brush, but it's honestly not going to work as good as using your finger because the heat from your body is going to work with the product to make it blend better. I'm a really big fan of using my fingers when I can to apply products because they're going to work better than any brush ever will. Okay, so on my eyes today, I'm going to start with the brow bone highlight. I'm going to use a L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow, one of the most underrated products on the market. These are so fantastic. If you have always wanted to try Colourpop eyeshadows, but you don't really like to order online, these to me feel sort of similar. Not exactly, but somewhat similar. They come with this little stopper in there, and that's to try to just keep the product from breaking apart or changing in its texture. So this is the shade Iced Latte, and it's just a pretty shimmery beige color. And again, with the L'Oreal Infallible shadows, the best, most easiest way to apply these is with your fingers, because if you use a brush, they just don't go on that well. And that's how I feel about Colourpop eyeshadows too. I like to use my fingers with them when I can. Sometimes you can't. It depends on where you're placing it and how you're placing it. So this is Iced Latte, just a really gorgeous shimmery beige. So I'm just going to put that as my brow bone highlight. I start right where that arch is and just work my way out and down. Yeah, I'm going to try to use products that I have that I love more often because, you know, there is a tendency to always want to use the new stuff that you bought, but there are some things that I have that, and I just dropped the cover. Okay, so as I was saying, There are some things that I have that I love that don't deserve to just be sitting in a drawer. They should be used because they're great products. This NYX Jumbo Pencil and Milk is one of them. My L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadows are another. And, you know, the thing is, if we don't keep using the older products that are great and keep purchasing them, they're not going to be available anymore because that's what companies base their decisions on. You know, it goes by sales. So I want to keep using and purchasing products that are great. It's not necessarily, I enjoy getting new things, but I want to use my old things too that I really like. Okay, so that's what the highlight looks like on. If I tilt my head, you can see the nice sheen that that gives. And the next thing I'm going to do is my crease shade. I kind of like to work my way down when I'm doing my eyes usually. And speaking of Colourpop, I'm going to use a Colourpop shadow in the crease. And this is called Fairfax. And it's a matte brown shadow. Now, I do prefer using my fingers with Colourpop, but to do crease work, I mean, how can you really? You can't really use your fingers to do crease work. So we're going to attempt just using a brush, the brush that I normally use, and see how that goes. I've noticed that with Colourpop shadows, some go on better than others with a brush, and some do not. So we'll see how it goes. This one seems to be going on okay. Yeah, this is working out all right. Sometimes it makes a difference on the texture of the shadow. Sometimes it makes a difference how old your shadow is. Because it's just such a strange and wonderful formula. Not always easy to apply, but they look good usually when you're done. Okay, I think that's going to be all right. I'm kind of like pouncing my brush in there rather than like dragging it. I'm just sort of like pouncing the brush into the product. The pollen count is so high right now that I got really sick yesterday afternoon. We went for a little walk after dinner, and when I came back, my eyes were all swollen and red and itchy from the pollen in the air, which really stinks because I love enjoying the nice weather and being outside, but I don't take any kind of allergy medication or anything like that. I try to avoid taking anything like that if possible. Because sometimes the side effects from the drugs are worse than the thing that you're treating it for. But yeah, I was really, really sick. Not sick, but just it was more of an annoyance than anything. You know, my eyes were all red and itchy, and I washed off all my makeup, and my eyes were bothering me all night. But when I woke up this morning, I felt normal again. I love that the nice weather is here, but don't love the allergy aspects that go with it. Alright, I think I'm going to leave this like this, and I might go back and tweak it at the end with another brush or that sort of thing. Okay, next I am going to take a Zoeva Luxe pencil brush, and I'm going to try to put some of this color along the lower lash line as well. The reason why I say that is Colourpop shadows don't always respond well to different brands and types of bristles on brushes, so we'll try using this brush, but I'm not sure how successful it will be. Yeah, that's going on okay. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, Colourpop shadows, they're really pretty, but not always user-friendly. This one seems to work pretty well, though. It's cooperating nicely. Yeah, I like this Fairfax color. It's just a nice warm brown. Looks like this one is a little deeper than this one. All right, that's pretty good. One of the hardest things in makeup is balancing everything out and trying to get things the same amount on one side of your face as the other. Okay, next is going to be my lid shade. And probably my favorite Urban Decay shadow of all time is Mushroom. And it's a gorgeous taupe shade. This is one of those Urban Decay build your own palettes. I hate the big bulky packaging, but it is what it is. Alright, so I'm just going to use my finger and put some Mushroom on the lids. Yeah, this mushroom color is so versatile. You can go so many directions with it because it isn't extremely warm and it isn't extremely cool. It really straddles the line of tone between warm and cool, so you can take it in like any direction you want to go with it. When I first started getting into Urban Decay eyeshadows, I didn't get this right away, and I didn't have any of the palettes that it was in, but I kept looking at it and I kept hearing so many good things about it, and finally, when I did this whole build your own palette thing, when they came out with that, I decided that it was time, and I think it is maybe my all-time favorite, like I said. It's just such a pretty color. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, at this time I'm going to take a clean brush. This is a Zoeva crease brush, and I'm just going to buff out like the outer edges so that I don't have such a sharp contrast between the highlight and the crease shade. So I'm just going to go like between those two colors, and then along the outer edge as well. Just kind of soften that up a little bit. There, that's better. Okay. Now I'm going to take one of the newer L'Oreal Mono eyeshadows, the Color Riche, and this is called Noir, C'est Noir. It's the black one, basically. And I think I'm going to take that same Zoeva pencil brush that I used to drag the Fairfax down along the lower lash line, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of this black right on like the outside edge on top of the Fairfax, just so that it's darker on the outside edge than it is along the other part. And then I'm just going to take it up a little bit, just a little. And then I'm going to go in a little bit. So I'm doing kind of like a really subtle, almost imaginary V. I mean, it's so subtle that you can't really see it too well, but it just gives it a little something. A little more definition on the outside edge. See, so you can see the line, but just barely. So it's like a little V. Okay. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a Zoeva Luxe Precise Shader brush. And by the way, I didn't buy any of these brushes. They were a gift from my friend June. And I'm gonna take a MAC Blacktrack Fluidline eyeliner, gel eyeliner. And put some of that on my brush. And I'm going to do the tight line. Just going to run that on the inside. And then I'm going to go along the lower lash line. That side needs a little bit more. And now I have too much on that side. You know, like I said, it's so hard to get things even. Alright, they're even now. Alright, next I'm going to use Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. And by the way, the person who left the comment saying that the small deluxe sample size is different than the full size, you're right. It just took a few days of me using it to find that out, but it doesn't seem the same. The formula seems drier and more difficult to apply, so you were right. Alright, I think I'm going to do this off camera because, I mean, you know, watching somebody put on mascara is not that interesting. So I'll be back. Okay, so this is what it looks like with the mascara on. I'm going to look up so you can get a better look at the finished mascara situation. Now, I'm not going to do lashes, false lashes again, because where I was having so many problems with my allergies yesterday, I don't dare. And by the way, if you do want to see the mascara process, I did that in yesterday's video. Alright, next is going to be brows. And again, I don't think it's really that interesting to watch somebody put on brows, but I'll start the process and give you some tips on how and why I do them the way I do, and then I'll just, you know, finish off camera. So this is the LA Colors I Heart Makeup Brow Kit, and I've really been enjoying this. I found this at Rite Aid on a special display, and so you get a brow pencil. I haven't been using that lately. You get stencils. I didn't use those because I really didn't need to. I shaped my brows with stencils years ago, and then it's just a matter of maintaining them after that. So that's, but if you wanted to use those, you could. And then you get a small brush, a set of tweezers, a small spoolie, and then you get 3 brow powders, 2 waxes, and a highlight shade powder. So I use the darkest powder shade, and then I use the darker of the 2 waxes. And what I do is I take a small angled liner brush. This one is from e.l.f. I prefer that over the brush that comes in the kit. This is only $1, so you're not going to be out much if you buy an extra brush. And I'm just going to put some of the darkest powder on there. And I usually start by, let me set this down. I usually start by putting my brush like straight up and down, and I do the beginning like that because that's the way those hairs at the beginning grow, is straight up and down. So I just add that in there, and I know it looks kind of strange right now, but it's going to get blended out in the end. Then I go across the top. I sort of trace the shape at the top. Then take it down the length. Then I go at the very bottom and trace out the shape. And then I add a little bit more in the middle to sort of fill it in. And then I just keep adding a little bit more at a time. until it looks almost done, but not quite. Okay? So on camera it looks completely done, but in real life there are still a few areas there that are not quite done. Then I take the spoolie that comes with it and run that in the darker of the two waxes. And I'm going to brush that through. And that is going to blend some of that brow powder out so it will look less harsh. And it's going to hold everything in place and set it. And even though it's the darkest shade in the palette, it's not really a crazy dark color. It's more like a light taupey grayish shade. So it blends everything out really nice. Okay, so I'm going to do the other one off camera now. Okay, so brows are done. Yeah, I love this kit. This was $6, and there's a lot of different tools and products in here for $6. And they also have one in medium to dark, but this was well worth $6. I really, really enjoy this. So if you see this anywhere and you're not sure, I definitely give it a thumbs up. Alright, all that's left are my lips, and I'm doing a red lip today, and I'm doing another classic lip product just like I did yesterday. But first I'm going to line my lips, and I'm going to use an Essence lip liner in Femme Fatale, which is just a nice classic red liner. And I have already sharpened my pencil off camera to speed up the process. These are a pretty good deal. They're only like, I think they're $2. They're really inexpensive, but not bad. Not bad. They come in some very classic shades that are very versatile. Okay, so I'm going to outline my lips, and with red, yeah, with red it's usually a good idea to fill them in too. Probably of all the lip colors, this is the color that you most want to line and fill them in. Okay, when I do this part, I'm just tilting the pencil sideways. Like when I line them, I use the tip, but then when I fill them in, I just go like with the edge of the pencil. Alright, and for a lipstick, I'm going to use MAC Russian Red. It's just a classic matte red lipstick, and the difference between this and Ruby Woo, this is a little bit deeper of a shade. Ruby Woo is a little bit lighter, but they are quite similar, so if you don't have Russian Red, you could always use Ruby Woo. Ruby Woo seems to get all the attention, but I kind of like Russian Red better, honestly. It's just a tad bit deeper, but it's still like that classic, iconic shade of red. I have to go out and do something later today, and the reason why I decided to go with this lip product rather than a matte liquid lipstick is because this I can reapply. Like, I can bring this with me to the restaurant and reapply it. Whereas if I wore a matte liquid lipstick, the way that it wears and the way that it comes off after you eat, you almost have to like use a makeup remover and remove everything that's on there and then start over. Whereas with this, I can just add a little more, smooth it out, even it out, and it'll be okay. But I do love the liquid lipsticks, but traditional regular lipsticks are a little more practical if you have to reapply. So let's see what the hair wants to do today, and I'll be back in a sec. So that is the finished look, and as you can see, it's still a neutral eye, but different colors, different products, and the end result is going to be different. And of course, it's a red lip instead of the plum one that I did yesterday. But still kind of a classic neutral, wear it any way you want type of look. And hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time. Bye.